Guildford, a town with centuries of history nestled in the heart of England. A place where cultures have mingled and traditions have evolved over generations. Guildford Cathedral, the city's oldest synagogue, and London's first purpose-built mosque, stands together as powerful symbols of a city where faiths meet, cultures flourish, and harmony is woven. And in this town, a new chapter begins in the journey of faith and belief. Rabbi Alex Goldberg, appointed as Guildford's first rabbi in 750 years, stands at the crossroads of tradition and change. Dr. Abbas Panakal, from India's Malabar coast, hails from a land where Jews, Hindus, Muslims, and Christians thrive together. Now an advisor at the University of Surrey, he and Rabbi Alex work side by side, fostering interfaith harmony rooted in the shared history. The British Library preserves a remarkable chapter of Malabar's cultural confluence. The manuscript Chisat Sharavarti Farmad recounts the history of the earliest mosques along the Malabar coast, the story of the splitting of the moon, the emperor's acceptance of Islam, and the division of his empire. These documents reveal interfaith collaboration, showing how non-Muslim rulers supported mosque construction, even granting land. They reflect a society where religious boundaries served as bridges for shared growth and mutual respect. The largest golden record in the British Library also originates from Malabar, an agreement between the Zamorin and the Dutch.
So welcome to the government of the Square Mile. This is the Guildhall, and it's an ancient institution, and the Corporation of the City of London looks after 1 square mile, which is the financial district of London. There are 650,000 plus workers in the 1 square mile, only 8,000 residents, and we are looking at faith and belief provision for the city. Interestingly, Dr. Abbas, there are 54 churches still in existence in 1 square mile.
Oh.
1 synagogue, and there's a second synagogue just slightly over the boundary. No mosques, no gurdwaras, no temples. You'll see all around you, just outside the window here, there's construction going on all the time. This is the centre for finance and banking and insurance and accountancy and also law. So we're asking hundreds and hundreds of people to engage right now in a survey and focus groups. What does it look like? What do you need in terms of your dietary needs, your prayer needs, your interaction between, how can we create interaction between communities, multi-faith, interfaith, and also interaction between global faith leaders and global business leaders. If anything, the work that we do about is to try and not keep faith in a silo, so it just talks to itself, or faith just talks to itself, but there is engagement and interaction between those who are looking at the future of the global economy with those who are the best thinkers in the world around morality, ethics and faith, and bringing them together is really exciting for the city. Ultimately, we want to create a hub and a centre here which helps the city retain the best talent in the world and advance the businesses here.
How do you connect this one with the Muslims and Kodungalur in South India, Kerala?
It's interesting, isn't it? I think that what brought people together both here in the City of London and in Kerala were trade routes and commerce And that's how we first create maybe interactions between different cultures and communities. The famous philosopher Voltaire came here in the 18th century, and he said, what is interesting about the Bourse, the exchange at the City of London, is that there are Muslims and there are Jews and there are Christians, and yes, they're conversing in the language of commerce. Today we want to go further. We want those engaging in the language of commerce to have a space for their spiritual and faith and belief needs, so that they can work, play together, and so that we can attract the best talent throughout the world to come and stay here and work here and love working here in the City of London. And I think that the communities that settled in Kerala hundreds and hundreds of years ago, centuries ago, that's what Kerala was all about. Let's make a home from home for those traders, those business people who traveled far, established trade centers and settled and created businesses and homes and communities and interaction. And that's what I want to learn from Kerala, and that's what I want to see.
Great, hopefully we'll meet there.
From the streets of Guildford in London, we now travel thousands of miles to the coastal land of Kerala in India. A land that has witnessed centuries of faith and harmony. Here in the ancient city of Kodungallur, the confluence of four faiths, Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, has shaped the soul of this region. The KC-wide Fellows, dedicated to fostering interfaith harmony and coexistence, are revisiting the city's harmonious legacy, delving into its rich history of religious collaboration and shared understanding. Kerala, a land where ancient traditions blend seamlessly with modern life. It's here amidst the vibrant culture and history that faiths converge and coexist.
Kodungallur Mosque. This is supposed to be the first mosque in India.
Mm-hmm.
So it was built Hijra 21st in 7th century. So you see the structure. This was a structure that we can see they used the traditional architecture of Kerala.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a very beautiful mosque, isn't it? It's quite small. It's quite pretty. You know, it reminds me of, in some ways, was the mosque that we saw in Woking, which is also small and petite, but quite charming and beautiful, isn't it?
The Sheraman Juma Mosque, built in the 7th century, is celebrated as India's very first mosque. Its ancient walls echo centuries of devotion and the arrival of Islam on the Malabar coast.
So how did Islam come to Kerala?
You know, this is a monsoon trading center.
Yes.
In the long times, the traders were coming and they were living here. The monsoon, they have to be here 3 months because there is no motor for their dhows or their boats. You know, they have to stay here 3 months and they have to mingle with the community here. Mostly they marry here. Then once the king of this Kodungallur, he was the king of all Malabar.
Mm-hmm.
He saw the moon split. Then he came with a group of people here. On the way, he passed away. King Salala, in Oman. They came here. There was a letter written by the king earlier, given to them, asking request to his chieftains to give a permission on the land and facilities to build mosque around this region. Then this was the first mosque. But it's interestingly, the place was given by a non-Muslim king.
Yes.
Then all the facilities were given by a non-Muslim king to build the mosque here. So it's interesting.
It's interesting, but it shows that there is coexistence.
Yeah, very much, very much.
Understanding between different cultures and faiths. And also, so as you know, in the Jewish ancient texts, India comes out in reference to ginger.
Yeah.
But it seems like the ginger of Kerala. So trading brings in Judaism, Christianity, and finally Islam.
Yeah.
The mihrab at Kodungallur Mosque is unique, amplifying the imam's voice during prayers. The minbar, used for Friday sermons, is equally distinctive. It is painted with colors made from natural leaves, reflecting local artistry and tradition.
When they came here, there was no lights, They used this for the light.
Right.
This for the lighting, They put the threads
With
here.
the wicket, they put the wicket. It's
Yeah.
like a massive oil lamp,
Yeah.
ancient oil lamp. Yeah.
This is an ancient massive oil lamp. And this is, I'm talking that, it is written here. This is mentioned that Kodungalur, Kirake. Kirake means eastern. Jumat Palli, Waga, Agunu. That means they are telling that this is belong to the eastern mosque of Kodungalur.
It's really brilliant. How long have you been president of the mosque?
Only 1 year.
1 year. Are you proud of this heritage you've inherited, this mantle? It's a big job you have to do. Well, in my town, I was made rabbi of the town. I was the first person to be made rabbi of the town in 750 years. So I know, I have to shake you by the hand, I know what you're doing, because it's the same job, isn't it? Bringing people back in, re-engaging with them, and I think that history is wonderful, but it's also looking at the future, and the future of Islam in Kerala, I guess.
Here where the boundaries of belief merges, create bridges, and embark on a quest to understand the true essence of unity and diversity, a mosaic rich with history, culture, and faith. The Kodungalur Bhagavathi Temple is revered as the oldest functioning Hindu temple in the region. For generations, it has stood as a vibrant center of faith, culture, and ritual.
Interconnected, and also the confluence of religion can see, especially the architecture of the temple. It was there for a long time, the temple architecture and the churches and all the mosques and even synagogues. They copied the traditional architecture and they were using that.
I'm looking behind you at the temple right now,
Yeah.
and what I'm seeing is a little A-framed arch, which is the same in style as the A-framed arch in the mosque.
Yeah.
So it seems that there is a adaptation or adaptation of architecture and ideas to each other in their synagogue buildings, in their mosque buildings, their church buildings, and that's what we're seeing here. I think it's the same back at home where I am in England, whereby you see influences of Anglican architecture coming into synagogues in the late 19th century. Bizarrely, not into mosques in the UK, but into mosques in Oman.
Yeah.
Why? Because the Sultan of Oman went to school in England. So we see these swapping and adoption of each other's architecture where it's respectful, where it doesn't counter the religion.
Yeah, when we talk about the Hindu religion, they were more of the festivals. You will see Ulsavam, that we call it, the festival of this temple. Yeah, that we will have a look into the festivals and also maybe the celebration they do. And also when the Muslims came here, they adopted a little bit of those festivals in the mosque. And also church people also adopted or they integrated to the festival of the natives. That can be seen in different. And Jewish also got some language that called Jewish Malayalam. And Muslims also got Arabic Malayalam. Then Christians, they got the Suryani Malayalam. They used those scripts. The Jewish scripts were used to write the vernacular language of the region. So that kind of integration and indigenization of culture, the language and the religion can be seen in this region.
I think the street is really an important thing, isn't it? Hinduism, yes, you have the temples, but it's lived in the street. You see the celebrations in the street. You see the color in the street. You see the shrines in the street.
Paravor's Jewish synagogue is remarkable for being one of the earliest in the region. It stands as a living testament to the city's rich Jewish heritage and enduring community life.
So we've just come into the gatehouse of the Paravor Synagogue from Jew Street, and Jew Street was a little Jewish street. Many of the residents here were Jews, and apparently not all. And it was a little Jewish trading colony, and we'll find out more about that in the synagogue. But if you look at the houses, you'll see that they were houses and with little shops in front of them, and some of them even today have shops. But this road doesn't have very many Jews, or none at all actually. So the Jewish community numbered 300 after the Second World War, and in the 1950s moved to Israel. So today, this, which is the biggest synagogue complex in Kerala, is a museum, but it tells a story and it tells its own history. And one of the history and stories it shows is in this wall here. This is a foundation stone, or actually a re-foundation stone. A guy called Yaakov Kashtil probably. Yaakov Kashtil, which is Senate, has laid a foundation plaque in the late 17th century. Why? Because the earliest synagogue had been burnt down by Portuguese raiders who had targeted a synagogue. There was so much outrage in Kerala about this that there are recorded 500 separate songs about the incident, both here and in Kochi, where the Portuguese attacked another synagogue. So this is something. I want to ask you about this.
Yeah.
It's very nice, but it looks like an oil lamp.
Yeah.
Apparently, it is a.
It is an oil lamp
It's an
itself.
oil
It's
lamp.
for light,
Yeah.
used for light actually.
Yeah, actually that we call about indigenization, integration of religion in Kerala, especially Islam got integrated, then Jewish also got integrated. This is another model for that.
And the architecture here is very Keralese, let's face it.
Yeah,
You've been to my synagogue in England, and it doesn't look like this.
yeah. This is
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like this.
a prestigious one. Yeah.
Beautiful. And tell me about, why do the doors go down?
It's a part of respect actually. In Kerala houses, long back, the Kerala houses also built like that only. So it's like,
This is
if you get inside, you have to be respectful. Something like
These group of bricks here show that the Portuguese destruction of the synagogue isn't just a story, it's history. These stones are the remnants of the 12th century synagogue. And what really I love about that,
because you have the same in
I
your
have an 11th
Yeah.
century synagogue, so same sort of period
Yeah.
of time. And you know what, although ours is tiny and it's a little scroll reading room, it's also got stone benches around the outside, and when we go in, you'll see it's the same. The same in Kerala and the same in Guildford.
Yeah, we have to praise these, we have to really uphold the work of archaeological division of the Kerala, how they found it.
I think it's amazing.
Yes,
But it tells a story, and that's an amazing story to tell.
wonderful.
Here we have the Bimal, which is where the Torah is read from and where the service is taken from. And here we have the Echel, as they call it here. I call it an Aron Kodesh, a holy ark. And in that ark is usually a Sefer Torah. And it's beautiful, and you can see there's a crown at the top of the ark, because we think that we talk about the crown of Torah, the majesty of Torah, our learning, our scriptures, our understanding of life and society. And that goes alongside, in the Jewish faith, the crown of King David and the crown of kings and the crown of priests and the priesthood who are hereditary. And inside here we would keep our Torah scrolls, the 5 books of Moses, usually on vellum, written by hand. It takes a long time to write it. And the ark, the Sefer Torah, the scrolls, are in Kochi today. But so it's a bit empty, isn't it, of its historical value. And you can see here you've got beautiful carvings. The menorah, which was lit in the temple 2,000 years ago. The grapes with the names of the tribes around them, the 12 tribes of Israel. There's a lot of meaning. We were told that the 10 windows here represent the 10
Commandments.
There is a place up there to lead prayers. Up there is the women's gallery.
Yep.
So I don't know, because I don't know enough about this community, but in the 16th century in Europe, there used to be a women's leader for prayers, so that women could hear their prayers. And some of the prayers they said up there were not the same prayers as the men's prayers.
Oh.
They were specific to femininity, they were specific to women's health and livelihood. And I'm wondering, perhaps somebody took the service up there
Yeah.
as a man,
Yeah.
but also perhaps sometimes there was a
Woman.
woman trying to get the other women
There are
to
chances, because Kerala society was that much women-oriented that we mentioned earlier. Even we have women goddess and also matrilineal societies. The women were leading in somehow.
In all the synagogues I've gone to,
Oh, right.
I have not seen a proper
Prayer place.
It is like this. You look at
No.
it comes out like this. It has a place for the books. You could even put the Torah.
So we were Kerala people or Malabar Jews were more progressive in that case.
Maybe.
Ose shalom bin Rama, Yase shalom aleinu, V'yakar Yisrael, V'yemaru Amen, Yase shalom, Yase shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'yakar Yisrael, Yase shalom, Yase shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'yakar Yisrael, V'yemaru Amen.
St. Thomas Church marks India's first Christian center and remains the country's only pontifical church. Its storied past reflects the enduring presence of Christianity on the Malabar coast.
So, good morning and happy welcome, Rabbi.
Thank you.
This is the first and the only pontifical shrine in India. So the people usually come for the pilgrimage, especially in the month of November, because November is considered to be the month in which St. Thomas entered into India the first time, AD 52, November 21st. That's a belief that, and we believe that. So there's a great celebration here.
Yeah, how was the structure of the community at the time? He came long back when Muslim was famous and Roman were trading with us.
So the first community started here in Kodungalur. That time that was called as Musiris.
Yeah.
Okay. Later that the place Musiris was distracted. That's only because of the tsunami or the flood.
Yeah.
So we cannot see the exact place in which St. Thomas came to Kerala. We don't know
it was
exactly.
taken away by the
So now the excavation is going on.
Yeah.
Here we have named Pattanam as a place. So we are getting some of the evidences that St. Thomas was here. The coins from Romans, also from the Syria, that we can see it from here. The pots which are used and everything, that may be the evidence that St. Thomas was here.
He came along trade routes.
Yes.
Did he go with other Christian traders, or he just jumped on a boat and went around India and the Middle East? What was? He's obviously doubting Thomas of the New Testament. So how did he transform himself into this doubting Thomas to an international traveler that spreads Christianity?
Yeah, I think he was very much interested in traveling and proclaim the good news. So he was moving from Rome to Syria. That was maybe his first journey. Then he believed that, because in the Gospel we read that he was asked to go and preach the good news at the time of the resurrection. So he was taking that command from the Master Jesus. So he was traveling.
So he comes here, but he goes to lots of places, and he establishes a church here or a community here. How long was he here, and who took over to build this church?
In the history, when we move to the Indian history, Indian church history, we see that St. Thomas actually started almost 8 communities. In Malayalam, we say Erara Palliyal. That means 7 churches and a half church. That means maybe the understanding.
It sounds like a rabbinic way of counting 7 and a half. 7, right?
That is Malayalam, we say 7.5, but actually that was not the meaning. Started from Kodungalur, then he moved to Palayur, the second church, we can say, second church. Then he moved to, he traveled to the north. he traveled to south till Kollam.
Okay.
So in between Palayur to Kollam, we have 7 churches, 7 communities. Okay. Later, he moved to Tamil Nadu, Kanyakumari. There we have a community of the king. So the community of Arajan, the king, Arapalli.
Oh.
That's the 8th church,
Not the
not half church.
What is life like today in Kerala in terms of interfaith and multi-faith activity and harmony?
Especially in Kodungalur, you mentioned that in Kodungalur, there are a confluence of religion. The Muslims, Hindus, Christians, and Jews. They were together.
Yes, of course. In India, that's we call it the Constitution offers is a blending of religion in India. All are free to have their own religion.
Right
But
to
same,
believe, right to
of
practice.
course. But in Kodungalur, we see it because it's starting from AD 50 to AD 52. We have a great tradition of accepting the other religion with a generous heart. God is truth, truth is God, love is God. Whatever may be, that the entity that is one and the same. So the people in Kodungalur, they were very happy to welcome the other religion, especially this place, Harikot. The premises of the church is a very welcoming place for different religion. And we have a celebration of Harmony Festival here in the month of January. We have 3 days. This religion mixed with the music and dance. Especially in Kodungalur, we have the blending of 3 religions. Basic religion is Hindu, Muslim, and Christianity. So we never face such a kind of what you call a friction between. It's the best place I can say.
So the University of Surrey, where I am when I'm Dean of Religious Life, once a year we have a Hope concert where different faith communities come together in the same way as you're doing to create music together and cultural displays. But I love this because this city embodies that idea of hope, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You're right, because maybe the music, dance form, or maybe the art form that can unite the religion in the best way. In heart, we should be one. Maybe we believe in the heart means in the head that we are different, but in basically all believe in
We're all created by the same.
the humanity and the humane concept values that should be promoted. That's why I think that should be great. So nice to meet you and have a great time. Okay, yeah, that's a good time along with you.
These cities have witnessed faiths coexist for millennia, standing as living testaments to the spirit of religious confluence. Yet, unlike Guildford, the Jewish population has nearly vanished, though synagogues remain carefully preserved.
When this synagogue was in full use, there were 3 communities living in Kochi. One is that community, that Spanish and Portuguese community, who were later joined by Baghdadi Jews, Iraqi Jews and traders. Actually, the Iraqi Jews were coming here all the time. But the Iraqi and Mizrahi and Sephardim often join together and have synagogues. Sometimes they have different ones, depending on how many people there are, but they're quite close in the way they pray. And then you also have the Malabar Jews living here separately, and they have their own synagogues. And I understand that in this synagogue there were some freed slaves, Jewish slaves or something like that, as a third community, which is very unusual to have that. And they weren't members, but some would gather outside here and worship outside. Malabar Jews and Spanish Portuguese would trade together here. But this was the property, if you like, of the Spanish and Portuguese Jews.
And these tiles on the floor, 1,100 stunning blue and white tiles. Look at them. The patterns of lush landscapes and flowing waters, and even motifs echoing Buddhist images of paradise. And you could be mistaken for thinking they are Dutch Delft tiles, because they're put in here during the Dutch period, and indeed there are close trading relationships between the Dutch East India Company and Kochi's Jewish community. But they're not. They're not Dutch at all. They're Cantonese, made in Guangdong in China. And originally, apparently, commissioned for the Masuncherry Royal Palace down the road, when not needed, a Jewish merchant by the name of Ezekiel Rahabi buys them all and donates them to the synagogue. For me, it tells its own story of confluence. These tiles, Chinese artistry, Buddhist imagery, Dutch trading, Jewish philanthropy, and Indian heritage.
The bima here is much more ornate than the one in the other synagogue we saw. Beautifully created. And you see that people are worshipping around the sides, just like the other synagogue we saw. And up there, you also see a prayer gallery and a women's gallery, perhaps behind as well. But these unique features you see here in Kochi of a stand upstairs. I think synagogues shouldn't be museums. Synagogue means Beit Knesset, which means a meeting place. And it's places where people should meet, engage and encounter, and also pray. So I thought praying today, but what did I do afterwards? I had lots of people coming up to me because they hadn't seen a rabbi before, I think.
Yeah.
Lots
It's
of
very
people.
rare in this region. Because
Lots of
we have everything, as you know, human presence is very, very less here, especially in case of Jews. We have synagogue, we have Jew streets, we have their dress code and culture, but Jews are not there.
You and I have worked in interreligious dialogue, intercultural dialogue, interfaith for many, many years. And the importance for me of all that is that we learn together, we respect each other, and we understand each other. You're right, there's a lot of bad things going on in the world, and there's lots of difficulties between communities. But ultimately, I believe sincerely, working in communities all my life, that when communities talk to each other across faiths, across ethnicities, across cultures, then they will come to know each other and respect each other. And in a port city like Kochi, that's very likely to happen. And I think that's what you feel here a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
People
really.
respecting that history.
Yeah, then you see the early trade things, pepper, cinnamon, turmeric, ginger.
So this is why it's really important.
Yeah.
So soon as a family, so went everywhere. And they sold all these things and bought all these things. So you'll find sassoons in Baghdad originally.
Yeah.
Then you'll find them here in India. You'll find them in Hong Kong doing many businesses. And you'll find them in London. And one of the most famous British First World War parents is a guy called Siegfried Sassoon, who is the son of a Jewish man called Sassoon. And again, part of that family. So that family are very important for the history of trade, for the history of Kochi, and for the history of Baghdad Jews who lived here as well.
Yeah.
All of the buildings we've seen,
Yes.
they're using the Hebrew, Beit Knesset,
Yeah.
Beit Knesset. But I think that people respect each other and try and understand each other maybe through the lens of their own cultures.
Yeah.
What was the culture of the Jewish people here? Well, it was Jewish, it was Spanish,
Yeah.
it was Portuguese, it was Baghdadi,
And
you know what?
Malabaris also.
It was Malabar.
Yeah.
A Muslim boy, Taha Ibrahim, was adopted by Sarah Cohen and her husband. After her husband's passing, Taha honored his wasiyah, his solemn promise, by caring for Sarah and managing her shop. Following Sarah's own passing, he continues to keep her memory alive, preserving and protecting the legacy.
Well, first of all, who was Sarah Cohen? Who was Sarah Cohen? Where was she from? And how did you get to know her?
Actually, she from Iraqi Jewish, came from Baghdadi. Sarah husband house, 1944 the marriage, came here. Actually, I'm a very poor family. Me, my father, brother selling the street vendor here. I came with a postcard seller, and the front of house. That time the Sarah husband come. Why you come here? I said, and saying the postcard. No, you not go school. I said, no. Why? No, you go to school, first is education, that is slowly and relationship I'm coming. I came here the Sarah and starting the small shop. This part of the making the kippah and Jewish wedding dress.
You're preserving here in Sarah Cohen's home, and she sadly passed away, a lot of Jewish culture from this area, from Jewstown. You're Muslim. What's your motivation for doing this, for preserving Kochi Jewish culture?
Actually, many years back, the Sarah husband, Yaqub, I keep it Oziyat. Oziyat, the Islamic, very important. That I'm Muslim, that way I keeping. One, I give it the promise for Sarah husband.
So we can
legacy.
break the promise, because as a Muslim, once you give a promise, he has to keep it.
This town named the Jew town.
Yes.
Now only one meant here.
In Jewtown, only a single Jewish resident remains, making their presence a rare and cherished part of the city.
Where are you from?
I am from England. I'm the rabbi of Guildford near London.
That's here, shit.
And it's lovely to meet you. You're the last Jewish person here, no?
Yes.
Well, thank you for saying hello to us.
The first thank you.
Sorry you're ill today, but thank you for seeing us. Thank you, blessing. Drop. Amen. Aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimaru, amen.
In Malabar, faiths converge, histories intertwine, and a living testament to religious coexistence endures, and diversity has been celebrated for over a millennium.